champion, 6-time champion of the world. Argued as being one of the greatest players of all time. Please give it up for the Pearl, Earl Strickland.
From beautiful Vanderbilt Hall in Grand Central Terminal, it's playoff action in the Michelob Amberbach World Summit of Pool. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside Grand Central Terminal. I grew up here in New York. If I would have told you that I'd be watching Championship 9-ball in Vanderbilt Hall at Grand Central, somebody would have told me I'm crazy. I'm Mitch Lawrence, along with my partner, Jim Weich. What a phenomenal place to be, and two terrific players today about to do battle here at Grand Central.
Oh, they've set the bar very high, Mitch. Earl Strickland-Danny Harriman. They say the title always goes through Strickland, and I'll tell you what, Danny Harriman knocked Strickland to the B-side in this one. This is one you do not want to miss.
And there you see him, the Pearl. You heard Aaron Setley describe his great credits. Earl Strickland, one of the most well-known players in the history of the game for sure. And we'll be excited to watch what he does. Always an exciting time when Earl's playing. And Danny Harriman, Springfield rifle from Springfield, Missouri. And Jimmy, this is a really, really interesting player to watch. A lot of background and a lot of different games at the table.
Yeah, that's right, Mitch. He took a little bit of a hiatus away from the game for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and boy, he has come back stronger than ever. And he's kicking things off here.
Good solid break.
Push it out. And after that intro, little doubt these players, the hairs on the back of their necks are going to be standing up, but I can tell you that Harriman's going to be pushing out off the break. The 2-ball is not on right now. Is he pushing into a jump?
This is going to be interesting here.
This is a legal push out. Mr. Strickland has the option.
And Earl's going to be setting him right back in. Little doubt here. But this is just how good Danny Harriman feels he jumps the ball, because he's going to be getting that jump stick out, Mitch, and he's going to be clearing the 6. And in an ideal world, he's going to be leaving Earl Strickland in the tall weeds.
Good hit, almost makes the 2.
More importantly, has he left a chance for the Pearl?
We'll mention that earlier in this event, in this double elimination format, Danny and Earl met, and Danny just absolutely owned that match, 11-2 over Earl Strickland. I'm going to be interested, Jimmy, to see if that's going to have any effect on either one of these players, actually, as Earl comes to the table for his first shot today.
And it's absolutely vital. And there you can see he only had the inside half a pocket, Mitch, so that was far from a gimme. But it is so important for the players to get off the mark quickly. It's a race to 7 now, the TV stages, and that is a sprint in terms of what these guys are used to.
You heard Jimmy mention a race to 7. We'll quickly give you this World Summit format. There'll be a 30-second shot clock on the players with 1 extension per rack. It will be alternating break, and it will be cue ball fouls only.
Now Danny's going to try and feather this one in, try and kill the speed of the cue ball with a lot of bottom, and try and pull that cue ball off the 2 cushions back out towards the middle of the table. And under pressure, and you know his nerves are rattling a little bit right now, this being the first rack, that was a pretty solid opening.
And it's not just the first rack, Jim, it's the setting. Being in Grand Central Terminal in New York, there has been such excitement all week about the World Summit and these 64 terrific players.
He doesn't want to be straight on this 5, and I think he's just run a little too far. He wanted a bit of angle because the 6 is at the opposite end of the table. You can see there, just now with him being so straight, How does he get back up to the 6? He's going to have to leave himself long distance, no doubt. Well, he's going cushion first. Boy, this is a risky way to look at it. What a shot from Danny Harriman.
And you know what, Jimmy? One of the things I like about Jimmy's game when he's playing, he can find himself in tough situations, but because he plays one pocket, because he plays bang pool, because he has a great knowledge of the game, he can come with shots that other players might not see.
You're absolutely right, Mitch, and that's, you know, we already have established that he's got a big psychological edge, having taken Strickland out of the winner's side. But to get up and knock the shot in like that early, that's sending a message to Earl, too. And this is going to be a real stroke tester. Near that corner pocket, dead straight on the 7. He's got to float this in. And this is a real test of cueing again early for Danny Harriman.
As he looks at 2 balls left on the table to take a 1-rack lead, we'll quickly mention this terrific playing equipment. There you see the beautiful Metro table from Brunswick Billiards. Players are using Super Aramis Pro Cup TV balls and Simonis 860 cloth on that Brunswick table, all official products of the UPA Tour. We'll also be using the Sardo tight rack. And underneath this table, carpet supplied by ABC Carpet. We thank all of the sponsors for their participation. Danny Harriman now doing beautiful work. A couple of tough shots, and this has to make Danny Harriman feel good. And the opening rack jumps out over Earl Strickland.
Mr. Harriman wins game number 1.
The Michelob Amberbach World Summit of Pool is proudly sponsored by Michelob Amberbach Beer, rich and smooth. By Brunswick Billiards, celebrating 160 years of heritage. To find a dealer near you, visit brunswickbilliards.com. And by Simonis Cloth, the cloth of champions since 1680.
Who's the best receiver?
Randy Moss, end of story.
That T.O. What do you know about receiving? You couldn't catch a rash at a poison ivy convention. Come on, concentrate.
Sunday NFL Countdown, the hardest working pregame show in football, Sundays at 11 on ESPN.
He was the genuine article, the Bull Moose, and he never did anything halfway. Teddy Roosevelt, a Brunswick table owner. Brunswick, craftsmanship that's built on those authentic American values. He offered integrity, honesty, and a healthy supply of common sense. Abe Lincoln, a Brunswick table owner. Brunswick, craftsmanship that's built on those authentic American values.
I'm going downtown. Can I give you a lift?
Sure, thanks.
Smooth. But not rich.
Hi, can I give you a lift?
Rich.
Sure, thanks.
But not smooth. Michelob Amberbach. Rich and smooth.
Inside Vanderbilt Hall, Grand Central Terminal, Earl Strickland at the table, moving quickly around this rack. 1 gone on the break, Jimmy.
Yeah, it'll be something you'll get used to seeing. Earl Strickland, he doesn't waste a lot of time at the table. And what a beautiful lay this is already for him. Everything in the open. Again, he's got to reply to what Danny Harriman set out. And there's no better way than to knock the balls in here and get the scoreline back to 1-1. But has anybody seen more pressure situations big time than Earl Strickland?
I don't think so.
No one I can think of.
6 times World 9-ball champion, 5 times U.S. Open 9-ball champion, 5-time Player of the Year, 6 Mosconi Cups under his belt. You know a lot about those Mosconi Cups, Jimmy?
They always look where this man's name is in the draw, Mitch. Make no mistake about that.
Well, it seems focused.
Just slightly hampered bridging over that 9. He's got to be careful not to touch it. Not the easiest of 9s. Bottom right corner as we look.
And that is a really good sign for Earl Strickland. Comes right back against Danny Harriman, and now each player with 1 on the board.
Wins game number 2 after 2 games. The match is tied 1 game apiece.
A look at the hands of Carmine Sardo working with the beautiful M3000 Sardo tight rack. Presto changeo, put the balls in, press down 1 time, and a perfect rack of 9 balls. It was thanks to Cornelius Vanderbilt that Grand Central Terminal exists. He bought the property in the 19th century. And inside Vanderbilt Hall, really one of the great venues for championship 9-ball that you will ever find. All week here in New York, people passing by on a constant basis, 600,000 of them a day come through Grand Central Terminal. And they have been treated to the best 9-ball players in the world going at it. And now 2 of them are here. Danny Harriman and Earl Strickland, they each have a rack, 1 apiece in a race to 7. One of them will go home, and one of them will keep going in the World Summit of Pool. Mitch Lawrence and Jim White. Another solid break. You hear it echoing all around Vanderbilt Hall, Jimmy.
Yeah, these beautiful walls. I don't know what they're made out of, Mitch. Granite and marble. You can hear these balls. Everyone walking by can hear them, wondering what's going on. Jockeying for position, but I can tell you the position looks pretty good here for Danny Harriman. He's got long distance. He's going to have to dial 8 on that too. And I think it passes the 6 into that bottom right corner.
3 balls on the break for Danny Harriman.
Man, oh man, this guy looks like he's in the zone right now. He's done nothing wrong. Effectively, these players holding serve. It's the alternating break format. For those of you at home that expect the winner to keep breaking, not so here. They've instituted, which I happen to agree with, Mitch. There's not many sports in the world that you don't jockey. Tennis is a good example. You know, the serve goes back and forth, and I like that format here. But Harriman held serve on his opening rack, and as did Earl Strickland. So it's down to Danny to reply here.
And he hit, we watched yesterday when he played Earl in a very one-sided match yesterday. That certainly is not necessarily the case today, but he hit some of all kinds. Jump shots, bank shots, everything. We saw him hit everything under the sun yesterday without missing. So we'll see if he can keep it going. You and I talked earlier today about how players have to really be prepared for different days, a little bit different stroke, just dealing with what they have to deal with on the day.
There's so much you have to deal with mentally playing 9-ball because the luck isn't always going to go your way, Mitch, and you know, it's all about survival. I always remember a good friend of mine, one of the best snooker players that ever played. He said, it's not how good your good game is, it's how good your bad game is. But what happened yesterday means absolutely nothing today.
He's got some work here.
Yeah, he's got, he didn't come out as far into the middle of the table. He tried to get the cue ball back out into this area. But now, looking at the 6, and
what he's looking. Yep.
Well, he's got to try and avoid contact to the 9. He wants to get back underneath the 7. And I can tell you that from the position he's in right now, he may have to try and negotiate contacting that 9 to get back over the other side of the table. This is going to be some shot if Harriman can pull this one out.
Wow, look at that. Wow. Look at that. He's made a couple of statements early. I mean, he knew it. You just saw him shake his cue. These are all very, very big shots in a race to 7, Jimmy.
And Mitch, you can't afford to drop when it's your break. You can't afford to drop that rack. Danny knows it. The danger here is that cue ball is going to be running towards that corner pocket. Look at Earl. He wasn't even looking up. He didn't even want to watch. He's got to jack up now to try and draw past the 9. The natural angle, cueing level, will take that white right beside that corner pocket. So Danny's got to just alter the path of that cue ball here by raising the back end and digging into it. He's got to just miss the 9. He didn't intend that, but you know what? It's worked out all right. You never want to move the balls in.
Shake his head.
He'll take those all day.
He sure will. If he takes 7 of those, he will indeed move on. Danny Harriman, a happy man right now, leads Earl Strickland by a rack.
After 3 games, the score is Mr. Harriman 2.
Last time on Dream Job.
Anish, you had me at Welcome to Sports Center.
I just expected more because it was you. Winston Bell, you've been cut.
This week, the dream continues for only 5. Dream Job, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, tonight on ESPN.
Today I'm here with Mark and Jeff. What's going on, guys?
We're gonna make her beautiful again, Bob.
Great. You've got the new Craftsman aluminum jack to help.
You got it.
With a super low design and patented speedy lift, the Craftsman aluminum jack makes lifting cars faster and easier than ever.
Takes only 2 pumps of the handle to get the saddle up to the chassis.
Lightweight, yet powerful. It's only $119.99.
And you've got the new Craftsman double box ratcheting wrench set.
Oh, yeah. Its thin design works great in tight areas.
And the box end has greater strength than an open end, while the ratcheting action lets you keep on turning without repositioning.
Plus, each wrench has 2 sizes. Perfect for so many applications.
It's fast, powerful, and incredibly handy in tight spaces.
It's yours for only $39.99.
Now, can I take her for a spin? Absolutely, Bob.
The right tool for every project. Innovations for the good life. Craftsman at Sears. Good life, great price.
You know college football? Prove it with ESPN and the Ultimate Road Game presented by the Jeep brand. Log on to ESPN.com/contest for a chance to win an all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, a trip to the BCS, plus hundreds of other prizes. College football begins Saturday starting at noon on ESPN.
You have but one question.
Will Bill Callahan's West Coast offense resurrect the Cornhuskers?
Does a condor rise from his own ashes?
Do you mean a phoenix?
No second question.
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturdays at 10:30 on ESPN.
They say once a new car leaves the dealership, it starts to lose money. There's one car, however, that keeps its value far better than others. And if that's something that appeals to you, the Honda Civic is your kind of car. Now, you can lease a new Civic Value Package for $159 a month for 36 months.
What I love about hunting is just the opportunity to be outdoors, walk in a cornfield, spending time with your son. It doesn't get any better than that.
Tom loves to hunt. One time we got all done and we looked around, where's Tom? Well, Tom and a couple guys realized we didn't have our limit, and they went back out walking the fields.
I believe in the Second Amendment. I think it's critical that every South Dakotan who wants to hunt and enjoy the outdoors like I do have that chance.
I'm Tom Daschle, and I approve of this message.
And there you see it, the World Summit of Pool, the Michelob Amberbach World Summit of Pool, inside Vanderbilt Hall at Grand Central Terminal in New York. And I have done a lot of events, and so have you, Jimmy, and I'm telling you, this has got to be the most unique venue for Championship 9 ball that I have ever seen.
Does it get any better? New York City, hello. What a break off from Strickland. I think he can get through to the 2 ball here. 4 balls off the break that time. But you heard him, he's going to have to jack up here. He's dead straight on the 2. But let's have another look at that, Mitch.
Solid.
Slaughterous break. There were more pockets than cushions on that one. Now he's going to have to jack up, and he's got to try and draw this right back. Not a long ways from where the cue ball is right now. Oh, what a shot.
Look at that. So both players, Jimmy, saying, all right, we're here to play today.
A little bit of magic. And we've got the best seat in the house. He's just got to stay below that 8 to see the 6. And you're looking at a 2-2 score line here in a matter of seconds. Man, these guys are firing rockets at each other right now.
It's beautiful. It's not, you know, you hope that when players at this level get together in a high-pressure situation that they're both going to show their game and play well, and then you have and that's what they're both doing. Let's see if he can negotiate this 9. Straight down that rail it comes, and man, we got a match. A couple of racks apiece. Danny Harriman and Earl Strickland going at it here in New York. Possibly the most famous information booth in the world sits in the middle of the main concourse at Grand Central Terminal. In movies, on TV, in real life, for decades now, if someone says, go to Grand Central and meet me at the clock, you know exactly where to go. Here's a look again from a little bit different angle at this beautiful, beautiful Metro table by Brunswick Billiards. You can have it at home. 3 different colors, self-leveling legs, which for me is important. The way I deal with the table. And there you see them. 9 balls, beautiful diamond-shaped rack. Mitch Lawrence and Jim White's inside Grand Central Terminal in New York, and you can believe this is not just another pool room. And you see behind that table all the people passing by, and now they're stopping. We're getting into a part of the day where they can't believe there's 9 ball going on inside this place. And look at this break again by Danny Harriman.
Again, he's got another open look, but the balls are finding gravity off the break, Mitch. Of that, there's little doubt. Another look at Harriman. 3 down. Strickland knocked in 4 in the previous break.
And Danny had 3 the last time he broke, so 3 consecutive racks of multiple balls.
And this is probably the most difficult shot Danny's going to look at in this rack. Just floating the 2 in, and that looks good. Just holding for position. Got to slice that 3 into the top corner. And what he's got to do is just try and spin the cue ball off the 2 cushions, avoiding that side pocket and getting down below the 9 into the bottom area. He's just got to get below that 9. That's the danger ball for him.
You see him just peeking down there. Thing about the game, always playing ahead.
Oh, he almost hit that too thick.
Sure did.
But he's cleared the 9. Now he needs it to stop.
The only thing, Jim, that we've seen in the first 3 racks out of Danny Harriman is a little bit of a speed control issue.
And that's all, Mitch, that's always an issue with new cloth. It's going to throw the new rails, the brand new balls they're using. Everything's a little different for these guys right now, and they've got to make adjustments on the fly.
It might look like there's just a couple of balls on a cue stick, but there is so much to think about. We talk often about the changing conditions on the table, the lights, the heat in the room, the moisture in the room. As you said, constantly have to be aware of all of it. Oh, in addition to trying to move on in the tournament, you know.
In addition to the pressure they're playing under as well.
Is he okay here?
He elected to stay below the 9. I think he can get enough to cut this in, but he's got to travel with the cue ball, and again, you know, some 12 feet roughly, and he's got to judge the speed. So he's got a thin cut on that 9. The bottom right corner as we're looking, he's just eyeing it up now, the angle. This is just focusing yourself, gathering your concentration, and letting that back arm do what it's done for countless hours in practice.
Boy, neither one of these players has given us any reason to believe this is going to be anything but a fantastic matchup. Danny Harriman stays a rack ahead of Earl Strickland. In 1869, Cornelius Vanderbilt bought the property on which Grand Central Terminal stands, and 100 years later, fantastic architectural icon was designated a National Historic Landmark. Chandeliers, originally installed in 1913, still here in all their glory. And those light bulbs that you see there, 30,000 of them a year are used inside Grand Central Terminal. Just a fantastic design, beautiful, beautiful place, and we are lucky to be here.
Yeah, Mitch, it was either commentate this match or have to change all those bulbs, and it was an easy choice.
I'm having a better time doing this. Let's see if Earl Strickland can keep this going. And again, look at this, Jim. Wow. 4 balls on the break for Earl.
Yeah, but he's not a happy camper as we see it again. Again, he has found the sweet spot off the break. Of that, there's little doubt. But he's landed behind the 8. And if I'm not mistaken, Mitch, the 4 ball is the next ball on. So he's either kicking at this or he's jumping. Or is that, sorry, is that the 3 that he's looking at? The long 3. So he's showing you with his finger now where to leave Harriman to force Harriman to kick. That's just how high the standard has been right here. They don't want to let anything out in the open. Danny, if Danny can't jump over the 7, he'll put Earl back in because he knows Earl jumps with his playing cue. And he also knows that Earl will have no choice but to kick at this from that top cushion. So Danny
I think he's going for the jump cue.
That's exactly what he's doing, Mitch. And you know something? You don't back into titles. You walk in through the front door.
I like this strategy. He's making shots. He's doing what he has to do. Up 3-2 in this race to 7 over Earl Strickland. Another big shot for Danny Harriman.
This could be a defining moment right here. Make a note of this one. If he knocks this in and steals the break from Strickland, I got to be honest with you, Mitch, I liked him to get that shot. And I think Danny thought he was going to get it too, but he's turned it right back over to the Pearl now. So Earl's gamble paid off. And there is no hard work to do in this rack.
Earl Strickland, North Carolina all the way. Born in Clinton, North Carolina, lives in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Absolutely beautiful spot in the mountains.
Yeah, he wanted us to say hi to his dad, Ray, didn't he? He's at home watching, one of his biggest fans, no doubt of that. I'll tell you one thing. Ray's seen his son play a lot of pool. I don't know whether he's ever seen him play any better than this.
Good work by Earl Pearl. And back and forth we go here in New York. An appreciative crowd watching Danny Harriman and Earl Strickland.
The match is tied, 3 games apiece.
Wow. Do you know anybody here?
Yes, we're all partners at the firm.
Oh.
Rich.
Actually, you look very firm to me.
But not smooth.
Hey, I can't believe I ran into you. Excuse us. There's some people you've got to meet.
Thank you.
Smooth.
Who are you?
The waiter.
But not rich.
Salmon Puff?
Michelob Amber Bach. Rich and smooth.
The freedom and flexibility to pursue your passions. Go RVing. Call for a free video and visit an RV dealer.
So, my gnome nappers, it seems our romantic getaway is coming to an end. Do thank Travelocity for me. Ah, that's the spirit, chap. Give her a kiss. No, that's enough. You're not invisible, you know. Oh, my goodness. Hello? Is this Travelocity? We're going to need a later flight. Ah! A much later flight.
Change of plans? 24/7 customer service. Book with Travelocity, and you'll never roam alone.
Ignoring you. Ignoring you.
It's my game. My picture.
It's my movies. My favorite TV shows.
Panasonic introduces the only DVD recorder with a hard drive that stores up to 700 hours of your favorite stuff. Call for your free DVD recorder guide now.
It's my home video.
It's my vacation. It's gotta be my game.
These are my TV shows.
Your life.
Wow.
Now available on DVD. Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Inside Vanderbilt Hall, Grand Central Terminal in New York City, New York. And you want to talk about a hub, the city, a hub, Grand Central Terminal, one of the great transportation hubs in all the world. And Danny Harriman seated at the moment. But here is a look at the last rack. Danny Harriman, oh so close. But Jimmy, that didn't work out for him. Earl got back up and tied this match up at 3 apiece.
I think Danny felt like he had a chance there. There was a glimmer of hope for him to steal that rack and effectively go 4-2 with the break. And that would have been a very, well, a position of some merit.
Big, big. And he hit the shot well. It's like you said, I think he really expected to make it. A very confident jump shot. Let's see if he can stay at the table now.
Mitch, make a note there because you just saw your first dry break of the match. It took 7 racks to come, but nothing finding its way to a pocket for Harriman there. And a very thin cut on the one here for Earl Strickland, and position isn't guaranteed. He's going to have to try and bring this right back up the middle of the table.
See where that winds up. Sneaks by the 2.
It's not as good as it. No, it's not as good as it looks. The only reason being the 3 is at the wrong end of the table for Earl. And the only shot that I can see, for Earl here is try and cut that 2 into this pocket, and he's going to have to try and weave that cue ball off the cushions, either around the back of the 9, or check it off the 2 cushions again and come back out to the middle. Well, he's looking at the corner, so he's got to avoid contacting the colors. That's the key.
Wow.
Okay, he's just making the game look too easy right now.
That was not an easy shot right there. Very few players are as talented as Earl Strickland when he is on his game.
I looked at that from the overhead camera.
Wow.
I didn't think it was possible to cut that into the corner. But now he's got all the angle and everything's in the open. And I doubt Danny Harriman's going to get out of his chair in this rack. Nothing but an unforced error from Strickland will allow that.
Well, let's see as that cue ball travels down table.
Beautifully judged. You can see the lay of the land. Everything in the open. This is all about controlling that cue ball. And Strickland knows he's got a chance to steal the serve from Harriman. And there's no way he wants to let this opportunity go away.
Yeah, he's shaking his head there, Jimmy. What's going on?
Just a little short of position. But again, he's got the angle. Looks like he's going to run into the 8 with the cue ball. Well, he's missed it. I think he wanted to hit the 8 there. Hold position on the 7. Now a thinner cut.
He's just feeling it. He's just feeling it.
Right now, it looks like you can pass that cue stick to anyone here watching. Strickland's making this game look too easy.
So having lost already in this double elimination format once to Danny Harriman, 11-2 earlier, Earl Strickland making his own statement, and he now ahead of Danny Harriman here in New York. Grand Central Terminal, possibly the most famous train station in the world, where over 600,000 people a day come and go via the train.
Here's to the beginning, a chance to carve out a new path. For this time will be different. This is the year we leave our mark. This is the game we play together. This is our season. The colors change, the fires burn, and the possibilities are endless. The NCAA Championships on ESPN.
Smooth. But not rich. Rich. But not smooth. Michelob Amber Bach. Rich and smooth.
Who do you love?
Giants! Steelers! Steelers!
This season, Sports Illustrated wants to help you cheer on your favorite team. And when you do, you'll get a special deal from SI. Start off with an incredible NFL folding chair with the logo of your favorite team, and you'll get this lightweight carrying case, too. Pick a team, any team.
Chargers! 49ers!
Go Pack, go! The choice is yours. It's free when you order 56 issues of SI at $1.59 an issue. You'll save 60% off the cover price. If you call now and pay with your credit card, you'll get another great gift free. Wear your favorite team's colors with pride with this NFL hooded sweatshirt.
For free?
Follow your team and the entire NFL through the pages of SI. SI gives you more in 2004. More access, more passion, more insight, more personality.
Call now, 1-800-257-7900. That's 1-800-257-7900. Or go online at SINFL2004.com. Quantities are limited.
You're watching the Michelob Amberbach World Summit of Pool. Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action. There are many places where you might see where it says "to the train," but very few of them will be anything like Grand Central Terminal in New York. It has been, over the course of its history, as you see Danny Harriman pumping it up, over the course of its history, has gone through so many changes back and forth, from greatness to a little bit of need of repair, and now back again in the last 30 years. Phenomenal renovations have gone on and continue to go on to make this, put it back where it belongs, as one of the truly great icon buildings in the world. Mitch Lawrence and Jim Weich, Danny Harriman and Earl Strickland. You saw Earl get up, Jimmy. You saw him jump up behind Danny to see what was going on.
Yeah, like a predator. Look where the 9's finished. Right over the bottom corner pocket. And my circle doesn't quite catch it there, but I guarantee you it's near it. I mean, that's a vicinity shot. But Earl is already eyeing it up. The 1's in the open, the 2 at the other end of the table. I doubt very much you're going to see all the balls disappear here before that 9 is gone. Yeah, you were talking about the trains, Mitch. One of these players is going to be looking for that train, because the loser goes home here. This is sudden death action. And what a place we're in. Grand Central Terminal in New York City.
How big would this be here? Off the 2 into the 8.
Well, he just didn't play that shot with a lot of conviction.
That's what it looked like to me.
Kind of a half-hearted. I don't know if he was attacking or defending there the way that he played that. But he's left Danny Harriman a chance at the 2.
Wow, this match has turned so dramatically now based on the break, Jimmy. We were talking about it before. What seemed like the easiest part of the game to both these players is now the toughest.
First 6 breaks gave us no reason to think that it wasn't going to continue on, and all of a sudden here we are in rack number 9 of a possible 13, Mitch, and the players are coming up dry. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they change the position of the cue ball. The problem here for Danny isn't getting the 2. It's positioned to the 3, which is just to the right of the cue ball as he looks. I wonder if he's electing to play this into the right-hand side pocket. Much tougher shot.
9 ball. He's coming back for the 9.
He went after the 9. He went after the thin cut on the 9, or the thin cut on the 2 to try and go after the 9. That was simply because there was no position to the 3. Now he's faced with, yeah. Now guess what, Danny? Nothing's changed. You got the 8. Didn't expect that, but you got a very similar look at the 2, and now.
Is he going to hit the same kind of shot?
Absolutely. Why not? Why not? It's not a lot different. I mean, at least it would show consistency in his game. A thin clip on the 2, again, to try and bring that cue ball back down towards the 9. So watch the cue ball.
Nope.
And the chance for Earl Strickland.
So that 9 being in the pocket has been key to everything in this rack so far. Both players trying to get it, and look how close that is. An inch separating somebody from this win.
Bit of a teaser.
Yep. It is. It's just like it's kind of hanging there going, come on.
Yeah, you kind of want to. But it's maintaining that steady pace over the finish line. Earl off 2 cushions. No, see, he's going after the 9 too. Trying to bank the 2 into the 9. Neither player really with an opportunity, and it's simply because they can't get position to the 3. And here Danny Harriman almost looks as though he's straight in on that too. So the storyline continues the same. No easy path from the 2 to the 3.
go.
Just like that.
And the 2 and the 9. And Danny Harriman loves that one. Trust me.
Yeah, watch this, Mitch. The billiard onto the 9, got the 2 into the side pocket. It was a two-way shot, and the 9 was it was never not going to be there.
How beautifully was that hit? Danny Harriman, great background in bank pool too, kicks, all kinds of shots, and now he's put 2 racks together, and he leads by a rack here in New York.
Shelton, I'd love you, even if you didn't have the trust fund.
Rich.
And I am so sure our love will last forever. I ripped up that silly prenup.
But not smooth.
Remember when you said you'd love me even if I didn't have the trust fund? Those words meant so much to me.
Smooth.
Remember when you said you ripped up that silly prenup? Those words meant so much to me.
But not rich. Michelob Amber Bach. Rich and smooth.
Hi, I'm Alan Hopkins. Like Jeanette Lee and other professionals, I've been playing pool most of my life.
That's right, Alan. Naturally, our games got better over time, but we spent many hours practicing the key concepts needed to pocket billiard balls.
But today, there is a great new way for players to improve their game.
It's called the Spider.
Order yours today and your game will improve dramatically. Call 1-8-SPIDER-888 or go to thespideronline.com.
Welcome back, everybody. For 62 points, identify in which game the following scene took place. Greg.
That's Dwayne Wade's last-second shot against the Hornets in last year's playoffs.
Correct.
What? NBA Shoot-Around, the pregame show with all the answers, begins Wednesday, November 3rd on ESPN.
Being one of South Dakota's 2 United States Senators is a great honor. It's a full-time job, just like running a farm or a ranch or owning a local grocery store. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. We're a small state. When I went to Washington, I realized that if I could become one of the Senate leaders, I could get a whole lot more done for our state. I've supported President Bush more often than not, but I've told him when he was wrong. Like 2 years ago when he told our farmers and ranchers they had to tighten their belts during one of the worst droughts in decades. I'm proud to be one of the leaders from the United States Senate, but you know what? I'm even more proud to be one of the only 2 senators from South Dakota. I'm Tom Daschle, and I approve this message because this Senate race isn't about politics. It's about South Dakota.
A look at Vanderbilt Hall of Grand Central Terminal, 12,000 square feet of it, all beauty. Former main waiting room here at Grand Central Terminal, and now the site of the Michelob Amber Bach World Summit of Pool. The United States Professional Pool Players Association is here and has been here all week, and as you see, there's so many pool fans in New York. Truly one of the great, not only cities, but pool-loving cities in the world. There used to be over 4,000 rooms here in New York at one time, if you can believe that. 4,000 rooms, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'll bet you Earl Strickland saw half of them.
All right, so Earl will stay at the table finally. The ball on the break.
Yeah, vital now for Strickland. He was 4-3 in front and breaking. That's where it all started to go wrong. Harriman's taken the last 2 racks to go 5-4 in front. And you can see right now that Earl Strickland has everything at his mercy. To draw back for the 6 to the side pocket. 7 and 9 pose no problems whatsoever. And the first 10 racks in this one are going to be split. Strickland, an 11-7 winner over Corey Deuel in one of the earlier matches leading up to this one. Boy, that was one that brought all the people out too. Corey's starting to play some good pool again.
And you know what, Jimmy? To me, it said a lot about Earl after losing 2-11 to Danny Harriman in a double elimination format. As you mentioned, he came back and beat 3 really good players. Jose Garcia, who had beaten BCA Open champion Tony Robles. John Schmidt, always tough. Earl beat him 11-8, and then, as you said, Corey Deuel 11-7. So it says something about Earl's state to come back and put himself in position against Danny Harriman.
Well, you don't win 5 world championships when you throw in the towel.
And there's his response to 2 racks by Danny Harriman. Not so fast. And as Jimmy said, we are tied at 5 in a race to 7. Danny Harriman and Earl Strickland, one of them will move on.
10 after 10 games, the score is Mr. Strickland 5, Mr. Harriman 5.
And one more time, Carmine Sardo working with those beautiful 9 balls into the new and improved Sardo M3000. What a fantastic piece of equipment. If you want a perfect rack of 9 balls, this is the way to do it. Put them in, press down one time, and there you have it. The Michelob Amberbach World Summit of Pool. Vanderbilt Hall at Grand Central Terminal. Mitch Lawrence and Jim Weiss. There's so many people that have gone into putting this event together. I'd be hard-pressed to talk enough about all of them. One of the big reasons, the New York City Sports Commission, Commissioner Ken Podziba has been working with the UPA organizers and all the great people there, Robert Lipson, Harold Siegel, all the people have made this possible. And we want to thank Ken Podziba for doing great work with the Sports Commission. A lot of things done by them, a liaison between the mayor's office and the sports community here in New York. They do a lot of work with youth and disabled kids. Fantastic organization.
See, Harriman pumped it up a bit there. Rack number 11, and you even heard somebody, good break. He hit that a little harder, Mitch. He had come up dry in his previous couple, so there's no way he was going to let that happen again. And looks to me like the 3, the long 3, and that's if this is the 3, and it is. He's got the 1, so the 3, it's positioned to the 3, and the hard work will be done. What a beautiful
And he
break.
likes it. He likes it. You can see Danny really lets you know. He'll shake that cue stick when he likes what he's doing. And what a big time for that, huh, Jim?
Well, the break just, it unfolded like a flower for him. If you can bottle a 9-ball break like that, you can sell it in every pool room in the world. Just wants it to run on a little bit more. He wanted the angle from the 7 to just drop nicely onto the 8, but you know what? This is no problem.
It'll be okay, yep.
Yeah, he'll just stop this dead, play the 8 to the same pocket.
So both players now in back-to-back racks. So interesting to me how we started this match off, the break being huge, and then a dry spell for both players, and now both of them seem to be back to that beautiful, beautiful break and run out that they love. As that 9 goes for Danny Harriman, the hill is his first, leading by a rack and close to moving on. In the late 1940s, amazingly, over 40% of the population of the United States came through Grand Central Terminal at one time during the year. How do we get our tickets today? The same way they did then. The World Summit of Pool here in New York, inside Vanderbilt Hall. Danny Harriman now with a 1-rack lead on the hill at 6-5 in a race to 7. Earl Strickland of Hendersonville, North Carolina. Danny Harriman of Springfield, Missouri, trying to see who will move on, get one step closer to this very, very prestigious title on the UPA Tour.
Earl will be happy about that. His toughest shot may well be his next. From the 1 to the 2, he's dead straight in on the 1. That's this one here, but he's got to get the cue ball right back the other end of the table because the 2 is the next ball.
You see how low he's cueing it there. Here it comes.
Wow.
Right past the 7. Look at that.
Well, he'll take that in a New York minute.
Funny you should say that. We've been kidding around about how many New York phrases there are, and you don't realize it until you start actually talking about it. And then when you're sitting in Grand Central Station, it seems totally appropriate.
Well, Mitch, we were talking about it just a second or two ago here, how important it was for Harriman to clear up because he knows he's going to get one more look in. That looks like it's going to be the deciding break in the 13th rack. And only time will tell whether it'll be a lucky 13 for Harriman. Strickland, all he can do is his part here to force it to a hill. And what a way to open this year's event here at Grand Central Terminal. Does it get any better?
We have really seen everything from both of these players.
Big shot here now for Earl. All he has to guard against is not dropping straight in on the 8. He's got to leave himself a nice angle to get the cue ball back down towards the 9 from the 8. Played into the middle diamond, and that guarantees him the angle on the 8.
Beautifully done. And both these players feeling so comfortable here. That's what's amazing to me. You step out in the middle of Grand Central's terminal, and you've got a pool table, beautiful, beautiful table, new cloth, everything else, and you just, it's like you've just been living here for the last year. Earl Strickland with a beautiful break and run out. Both players now on the hill, and there is only one place to go. The decisive rack coming up.
Strickland wins game number 12.
Today's prize is patio furniture. What is Chris Webber's full name? John.
Macy Edward Christopher Weber III.
Anchors get the furniture, yeah.
I want that ugly furniture.
NBA Shoot-Around, the pregame show with all the answers, November 3rd on ESPN.
This championship is played with the Super Aramith Pro Cup set, the professional ball set that guarantees ultimate precision in your game. Now this top quality set with its through hardened surface, its beautifully engraved numbers, and its new red dotted Pro Cup cue ball comes in a unique value pack, including also the Aramith ball cleaner, the microfiber cleaning cloth, and the Jimmy Rempe training cue ball with its manual. The Super Aramith Pro Cup set, a value pack built for the player who loves the game.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school with Dynamic Practice Organization, a revolutionary new instructional videotape. Dynamic Practice Organization features professional scout and instructor Tom Emansky with his famous building block approach to athletic training. This exciting instructional videotape features the same drills, techniques, and methods that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Dynamic Practice Organization makes any coach look like a genius and organizes offensive and defensive practices that players of all ages and ability levels can't wait to attend, and immensely improves team communication skills and even conditioning. This is the instructional video that's a winner. To order your copy for only $29.95 at your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-652-0101. This Dynamic Practice Organization teaching video makes a great gift, too. Call now, 1-800-652-0101.
The Michelob Amberbach World Summit of Pool is brought to you by Michelob Amberbach Beer, rich and smooth. By Brunswick Billiards, celebrating 160 years of heritage. To find a dealer near you, visit brunswickbilliards.com. And by Harriman, the Belgian billiard balls #1 worldwide. Back inside Grand Central Terminal for the Michelob Amberbach World Summit of Pool. And there you see Earl Strickland. He has done what he could do in rack number 12, breaking and running out to get to 6. Both players on the hill. Danny Harriman at the table. And you think that the lag at the beginning of a match is kind of a distant thing? Well, this is why Danny Harriman is at the table in rack 13. He won that lag, and it gave him the right to be here.
Got a ball off the break, Mitch, but very tense out there right now.
Give me straight stroke on the line.
And you can hear him. He's got the long 1 he's looking at, and the 2 is right next to the cue ball. So he's going to have to try and pump this in, get around the back of the 4, and back up table for the 2, which is at the wrong end of the table as far as Danny Harriman's concerned. Without a doubt, the biggest shot he's going to play in this match. And you can hear a pin drop out there right now.
I guarantee you that Danny Harriman's hearing the pounding of his heart, too, a little bit.
All or nothing right here. He's looking at the 9. He's wondering about jacking up, because position from the 1 to the 2 is so difficult, Mitch. This may not be
He's
a bad...
thinking, why not go?
No kidding. It's not desperation. This is a calculated risk. From the 1, take the cue ball into the 2. No, he's not jacked up, so he's not going for the 9. He's trying to get back down for the 2. What a shot this would be.
Unbelievable.
Well, he can see it.
That little bump. Yes, he can.
At least he can maintain the initiative. If he decides not to attack here, he can keep the momentum, clip the edge of the 2, and run up into the center of the table, leaving the 2 roughly where it is now, and try and hide it behind his choice of color. This is nothing. Or another choice is to bank the 2, leave the cue ball where the 2 is, and bank the 2 up towards the other cushion. This is just personal preference, but either way, it is vital right now for Danny not to leave Earl Strickland an open look at this 2.
I'm out.
And that's just how important this situation
Takes
is.
his extension, yep. Both players in this rack are going to take every chance they get. You see Earl standing up. He wants to see what's going on. Everybody here wants to see what's going on. Man.
Yeah, he's banking the 2 up towards the 4, and he's got to hide that cue ball.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
If body English is worth anything, he just got full marks because he willed that cue ball in behind that 7. Glued behind the 7 now. And Strickland is just about to play the most important kick shot he's going to play in this year's event.
Boy, that was beautiful. I love the way Danny did bend over and look at it. What a great... He, of course, should have the best view of where that cue ball was going.
Well, Earl knows he's got to hit this 2. He must contact the 2. Give him cue ball at hand right now to Harriman would be a recipe for disaster. And obviously he's distracted by something or someone. And that, again, isn't uncommon with Earl. He plays with so much intensity.
Well, he needs to put it past him here. Concentrate on this work at hand.
Into the side cushion at speed, and he's got to hit the 2.
Look at this.
9. Look at the 9.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh! Mitch, look at that. Mark it down. One of the shots of the decade. Can you catch your breath, Earl Strickland?
Mitch. You know what, Jimmy, how many times have we seen Earl do something unexpected? Look at this.
One of the greatest shots you'll ever see in the game of 9-ball, and it was a hill decider.
I'll tell you what, like a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. You heard Earl. It's a crazy game. And if you're Danny Harriman, what are you going to do? You have done everything possible to put Earl in that situation, and now you're taking your cue apart, Jimmy.
You don't go to the lottery terminal if you're Harriman. Believe me. Because he right now feels cursed.
And now it is time for our Michelob Amberbach rich and smooth super shot of the match. And is there any doubt in anyone's mind about which shot this will be? I think not. Earl Strickland at 6'6" comes with this fantastic shot just to get to the 2, knowing he had to do that. And Jimmy, you said something about hitting it with speed, and this is the result of having the strength of your convictions. And there is Earl Strickland's reaction as he moves on, and Danny Harriman will go home. A fantastic match here at the World Summit of Pool, Grand Central Terminal in New York. We're glad you've been with us. Keep your eyes open for all our other fantastic matches. For Jim Weich, I am Mitch Lawrence. Woo! Take a deep breath. So long from New York. Accommodations provided by the Renaissance Hotel in Times Square, where the best of times are never square. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. The most famous city in the world has its share of notable visitors on a constant basis. This week, against the backdrop of one of New York's most famous landmarks, Grand Central Terminal, those visitors are the men of the United States Professional Pool Players Association 9-Ball Tour. And two of them are about to face off for a trip to that tour's most prestigious final.
Ladies and gentlemen, first up from Frederick, Maryland. This player is a winner of the Sands Regency